Hello, everyone. Welcome to this incredible interview that I'm so happy to be doing. I'll be introducing the work of Mark Leib, who's an amazing researcher, and he's a geobiologist. He's an etheric design consultant. He specializes in the creation of bespoke high vibration spaces to optimize wellness and healing and to bring us back into connection with the vitalising rhythms of the earth. He will explain what are those rhythms and how those rhythms help us to heal during the presentation. He's a designer, a geobiologist, geometer, and a sacred space builder of the European tradition of the Harmonic building, a 1,000-year-old lineage that holds timeless earth wisdom and advanced nature-based design knowledge for the Vedic, Arabic, and Celtic cultures. He's the only person in the UK to have completed professional certification in that tradition, and he's offering his unique services and teachings, its methods around the UK, in Spain, and other places. He applies these methods of the tradition in bioenergy research projects using radiesthesia, GDV, biofield testing technology, and biophilic design. He has over 20 years of international experience as an award-winning interior architect and design director, creating visionary environments for private residents, global brands, and hospitality destinations. You can see more of Mark in his website that I will quote now in a moment, is markleib.com. And of course, here's Mark. Hello, Mark. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Maria. Hi. Thank you for the introduction. It's great to see you again. I think it's been 6 months since we last spoke.
I think so.
I was in Spain. I was in Spain at the time. I was in Andalusia, and now I'm back in England, not far from you in Somerset.
Yeah, we're here in England, broadcasting to the world, and we're going to be talking about many other very interesting spaces in Ecuador, in Russia, in Bosnia. So to not take you more time, I would love for you to start with what you're going to talk to us about, that I know it's pyramid technology and how it helps to heal and to actually help us to grow food with energy, with so many different aspects. So tell us about it, Mark.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let me just bring up the presentation.
Yeah, perfect.
So it's up, and I'm going to share. Okay, it's coming.
Yeah, because Mark is going to show us a quite interesting presentation about his work and about discoveries that he has been doing around the world, and that he's actually building these pyramid devices and making tests with them. So he's having like first-hand experience with what we are also going to talk about that is being discovered in Bosnia. So I'm going to add the presentation to the transmission. There you go. So
I'm full screen now. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, perfectly, Mark. We are seeing you and the presentation too.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, okay. Okay, so hi everyone. Thanks for that amazing introduction, Maria. I'm a designer. I created something called Etheric design, and as you said, I create transformative high vibration spaces, and it's about connecting our spaces and ourselves to the healing power of nature. And I specialize in creating spaces for wellness, for healing, and spiritual development. And here in Somerset, I'm also the director of Earthlight Medicine Garden, which you're going to see a structure I've built later on in the presentation. As Maria, you also said, I've studied with a very unique lineage of knowledge called the European tradition of master builders, which for over 1,000 years have built sacred structures and harmonic healing spaces, utilizing the ancient knowledge of the Celtic people, also with very specialist knowledge from the Vedic and Arabic traditions. So we've got ancient earth wisdom going back thousands of years. There's a structure of France, it's 4,000 years old, which has central parallel geometry.
Mark,
yeah,
we're not hearing you very well right now, so maybe there's some with the mic.
Shall I take the headphones off?
Now
is that better?
Now it's perfect. Yeah. No, now it's okay. So you can do it now. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I had the headphones on. So so my work is rooted in the European tradition of the master builders, which is a specialist lineage of sacred space builders, which has existed in a form for 1,000 years, but the knowledge goes back at least to 4,000 years old, and we have inherited knowledge that I believe has been going back many more thousand years beyond that. So within the tradition where you work with the energies of the land, with a very specialist system of geometry, which of natural geometry, working with the energy of the sun and the moon, with the ancient knowledge of working with stone and how to build with stone in the landscape to create spaces that are going to heal and to balance our bodies and the landscape. And essentially, this is a system of geometric alchemy, of transformation using geometry. And at the core of this work is this harmonic science of geometric alchemy, which works with the movements of the sun and the moon around a location. And it's a process of transforming these rhythms through geometry and some mathematics into actual music of the place. So actually harmonic. So the frequency vibrations of the place are activated through geometry. And it's a very big subject, but I'm just going to leave it there. But we're going to come back to this in the rest of the presentation, where essentially it's the relationship between geometry and form and space, location and material and orientation. All of these things combined together allow us to then create very high performance spaces, utilizing the energy of the earth from within and the rhythms of the planet. The image on the left is central to our work, which is a mandala. It's a mandala of geometry of the place. It's almost, you can almost think of it as being a horoscope for the land, and it encodes the information of the land, but actually it also creates waveforms, creates geometric patterns, which are actually geometric forms of sound waves that come from the earth, and harmonics. So these photos we're seeing here are cymatic patterns, cymatic photos that are snapshots of the movements of waveforms, creating perfect circles and perfect geometries. So you can see the image in blue is very similar to the mandala, where we have pure symmetry of forms and what is now as we're seeing the relationship between sacred geometry, like pure geometric forms and sound waves. And this is really very central to the ancient system of building, utilizing waves and utilizing frequencies and building spaces that are in resonance with particular planetary frequencies and archetypal dimensions contained within the universe, essentially the building blocks of geometry of the universe.
Yeah, would you say
when
that
you're building space, whether it's a new building or whether it's an existing space, an existing ancient space, the understanding of the earth energies of the place, the actual frequencies caused by many different sources are actually the specific locations that all sacred sites were chosen to built upon. There are types of grids which are linear, which you can see in the top left. You can see like vortexes, crossings of earth energy lines, and some of these energy lines are localized, which come from the crossing of underground water and fault lines in that place. Other ones, as you can see on the left, are actually lines that huge lines of energy of standing wave energy that go all the way around the Earth. So from the very, very large to the very, very local. And then utilizing a design language of nature, which is called sacred geometry, which is a huge topic. Essentially, it's the archetypal shapes and forms and patterns that are found within nature and repeated at all scales. Essentially, it's where it's called sacred, essentially the divine geometric patterning, the archetypes of life itself. And these can then be found within flowers, like in the sunflower patterns that relate to the golden ratio, and other sacred and divine patternings and mathematical ratios that encode the very frequency of life. To the yantra in the top right, which is a version, which is the central part of the Sri yantra. So these are geometric symbols that are from. This is a symbol from the Indian tradition, which encodes the very geometric form of a particular deity. And then in the top left, we see another patterning, which is a more modern piece of geometry, relates to the postularized nature or shape of space-time itself. So from the very, very large, so the huge, from the geometry of the universe itself, right down to the geometry within organic forms and in cells and DNA, which we'll talk about later. So the work I do, etheric design, covers architecture, interiors, creating gardens, landscape mandalas and sacred spaces, and also furniture. So essentially, I have a template and a design system that allows me to bring in these archetypal frequencies to design at all scales. And these are just some projects working with space and location and structures and healing spaces and furniture and materials, but all the time bringing in these archetypal higher dimensional frequencies, and then rooting them within the location of the place itself, connecting to the earth energies. So these places are protected and safe, but also high vibration and also very balanced. And so the whole point of the work is to create spaces that are balanced and are going to enhance life. Okay, so that's enough of what I do.